We are at the newest stadium in the NFL, and its inaugural year. There's a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light period. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They set up the screen to Hill. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Second down and 4.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Get up. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3. Ready.
On second down, Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Taken right around the 44. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now Jones. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. 11 yards for number 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Startulele is a former first-round pick who's starting to round into form, becoming one of the better run stoppers in the league.
Throwing Jones. Amaro's got it, left side. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Now a run with a fullback Johnson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, Defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Stays on his feet. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
White will go in motion right. Again, it's Murray. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now the 4th-year man from Texas A&M, Kristen Michael. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Kristen Michael, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Dan Carpenter now for the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Ryan. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's brought down after a good game. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it'll give the Vikings a 1st down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Hill, the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 8 there on the 1st down play.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Ryan to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
They'll run. This is Hill. 20. There goes Jeremy Hill. Touchdown, Vikings. Jeremy Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And now it's second down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with the former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And it's third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Miller in motion right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. The catch made by Miller. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Carpenter now for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Hill. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is what every back in the league is supposed to do, exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Marcel Darius, year in and year out, plays at a Pro Bowl level.
Now it's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now Ryan on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it second and short. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll hand it off now. Hill. And he's got room. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a second and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
I got 15. I got 15. Me. Ready, 5, 25. Let's go.
On second down, Ryan. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Let's go. Flex round. Ohio.
Throwing, Jones. Paul bringing it in. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Flex round.
Now Jones. And he whips that one incomplete there. Second down following the incompletion.
Flex round. Here we go. Ohio. Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket. to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go!
They're going to look to throw. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. On first down, Murray. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Niles Paul, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Now Carpenter to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterback, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. Third down here. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
And they might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
And Carpenter knocks it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Hill, the lone setback. They're going to give it to him running right. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Second down, 8. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They run it again with Hill. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. This is Hill. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
That, quite simply, is Jeremy Hill. A very powerful, compact back.
He's always been that, even back at LSU. That's where he honed that skill, right?
Love to run between the tackles and take the contact as well as dish it out.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. Hill's hit, and he lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up 2nd down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Ryan. It's complete to the tight end, Bennett. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Throwing Jones. Dancing to his left. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
That was second down run for Murray. And an alley to run. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a give. It's Michael. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. The tackle made by the linebacker, Arthur Moats.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now Jones. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
And the offense in a great spot. It's 1st and goal from the 3. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cardale Jones, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead. Carpenter now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team bones it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They begin the drive with Hill. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit, That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called. Not so much just to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it. I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Now it's Ryan. He's going to try and go deep again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Ryan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Here's Thomas. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He completes it right side to White. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catches. Hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Completion left side to Miller. Well, there's one you don't see often, the illegal forward pass.
And the reason we don't see it very often is the quarterback has to be totally beyond the line of scrimmage for the flag to come out. If any part of the quarterback is behind the line of scrimmage when he throws the ball, then it's not an illegal forward pass.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. Back to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit. And sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackles.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
First and 10, it's Ryan. Caught, left side, Bennett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And they got 29 yards there. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Fresh set of downs here. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now a handoff. Here's Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
We got 4. We got 58. Check 31.
On the keeper, here's Ryan. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Well, this season's going nowhere. No reason not to go for it. And it's a rare success for them as they keep the drive alive.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. This time Ryan will throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Four down, check, four down.
On the toss, here's Hill. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jeremy Hill, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. So they're going to go for two. To throw for it is Ryan. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Murray the lone setback. Throwing Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get 25 yards out of that one. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now Jones. Paul bringing it in. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get 19 yards there. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. Now, defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete. Probably should have had that one, but with the game he's having tonight, maybe they'll let it go.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
Murray the lone setback. Back to throw again. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They come out here in the eye. First down and goal, the offense knocking on the door. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And Ndamukong Suh breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. On first down, Ryan. He's got time. He sets to fire deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
The busy night continues for Hill. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Five yards to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing Jones. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant.
Let's go. What? 90. Ohio. Watch the twist.
Now Jones. It's grabbed over the middle by White. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That one looks like he'll throw here. On the left side, a catch by White. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They go with Murray again. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Let's go.
They'll go to the air here. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.